Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the World of Old. We are back for another Thursday night stream with the devs. I am here with No Leg the Kitten. Say hello,
Hello?
Mr. Kitten.
Yes, I was missing my button. Sorry. Hello,
Marvellous.
everyone. Welcome to the World of Old.
And this week we're going to be continuing the duel that we started last week between Siontific and Nestor. So we're on turn 49. Siontific has been taking a few attacks. Nestor has lost Miltos to barbarians, or rebels in fact. Yeah, Siontific's got a pretty good position, but it's not over yet. So let me just tell them, our players, they are good to go. And yeah, we'll get started again. Well, welcome to the stream, everyone. Hello, Nestor. Hello, Lazarus. Hello, Mojo. Super excited about new DLC. Yes, we have announced a new DLC today, which is very exciting. Wrath of Gods is going to be coming out on the 3rd of March. There's a trailer up on YouTube, and you can wishlist it on your store of choice if you wish to. So check that out. It's looking pretty cool, I think. Anyway, so we have started. Nestor is off. We're going for the timer. So last turn, as a quick reminder, Siontific pushed in and killed Nestor's free chariot that he had here with a couple of archers, and Nestor is just tidying that up now, quite rightly so, clearing away these archers. I think Nestor's still got a chance in this game. He's got his U's out, and he's just fighting archers and one ballista. So I think it's not looking too bad. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was looking at the game as we were loading in, preparing to start, and I think also having had a bit of a break for a week helps reset our mindset. He still has his unique edit out, 4 Acadian archers, 5 actually. So quite strong in his territory, so I'm not sure Sion has what it takes to move in and be conclusive. So it's not that easy to line up shots with the ballista. We saw that it barely escaped with its life last time. So yeah, I definitely think Nestor still has a chance in this game. It's not decided yet.
Yeah, Nestor was very unlucky last week not to kill that ballista. He got it down to 1 hit point, but couldn't quite kill it, unfortunately. So it has scarpered off. And Siontific has still, of course, got his tactician leader, which can stun, which is very nasty, and means that all his units are hidden in the forest. So that's some good advantages. Siontific, of course, does have twice as many cities as Nestor now, 8 to 4. They're similar strength, but Siontific is naive. So let's switch over to Siontific's point of view and see what he is up to. So yeah, he's lost his couple of archers there. He's got a religion event he can convert. Too exciting. But yes, I imagine Siontific is going to have to be a little bit calmer for a minute here and not go all out on the offensive, because it can be very hard to push into those Acadians.
Yeah. I don't think he's really winning out in a pure archer duel, so he can leverage the fact that he's hidden on forest, but of course Nestor knows that and probably not immediately going on the offensive anyway. So yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll feel the need for some melee units or for some routing capability. For now, he's training archers and slingers still, so it's not entirely clear. And a settler as well in Byzantium, so I don't know if there's a side plan to go for the city sites on the south end of the Black Sea and completely close in around Nestor, or if he wants to settle Cretes. But the fact that he's training a settler tells me he's not all in terms of conquest yet. Oh,
It looks
actually,
like he does want to
indirectly,
settle Crete.
yep. And his ballista there, so a good chunk of what's that? 14 damage at once, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that ballista is absolutely deadly, that's for sure. W6 says, can you guys investigate the opportunity to simultaneously stream on YouTube? Many streamers do both. It's certainly something we can look at. I'm not sure if we necessarily want to do that. I've noticed I haven't turned the YouTube chat on, so let me just do that now. But yeah, something we could look into doing. So, what else is happening here? Seeing some treasuries getting built up here, which I think is quite interesting. I'm a little bit surprised to see that, to be honest. He's not very rich, admittedly, but resource-wise, Sion is looking very healthy, so I'm not sure why he thinks he needs the money.
I don't know. Maybe he would just want a bit of input. He has a judge in his capital, so he probably wants a bit of money to push specialists out without compromising his fueling his military abilities. So I don't know. He was probably in a bit of a rush picking decisions. We have to remember they're on a timer, and they typically don't end their turn before the timer goes. So there's probably some tough decisions to be made sometime, and not always ideal.
Yeah, and that indeed has been the case again this turn. He has let the timer run down. So yes, what is Nestor going to do is the question now. I guess he will need to spend at least a little bit of time healing up. I'd quite like to see Nestor going on the offensive. I'd like to see him take Miltos back. That would be a sensible route. Needs to start reclaiming some territory.
Indeed, that should be doable, and yeah, and he can maybe build roads into it as well, which is started to do in his territory. But well, we can expect he's probably worried about potential intrusion, so he might just consolidate in place for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it wouldn't be too hard to get some Acadians in the forest down here and start bombarding Miltos in preparation for taking it later. Obviously, he needs to be a little bit careful with the anchored ship here and the fact that the ballista can just swarm in at any moment. But I would be surprised if he doesn't head that way. But it looks like
Yeah,
not this turn. He's doing a bit of building up, a bit of healing.
yeah, maybe he was just praying for the oligarch of the Amorite family to die, who was a judge, so compatible leader, but was slothful. So still minus 80 because his leader is bold and warlike. So lucky him, the oligarch died, now he's replaced with a schemer who hates his gut for just archetype reason. So that's a bit of an unlucky, an unfortunate break there. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, a bit of a side thing, but yeah.
family opinion signs doing reasonably well. The champions are mildly miffed, but otherwise everyone's pretty happy. I believe Nestor was having some family issues. It's not too bad. The hunters love him. Traders are okay. Sages hate his guts. Yeah, the schemer is a problem. But the hunters are the important family because that's where all his Acadians are coming out, and they absolutely love him. So that's definitely a positive. Let's see what Sion's doing. So he's cleared this site very quickly with a little bit of archer support.
Yeah. Also, there's a question on chat. Will there be streams for the new DLC before the DLC releases? Yes, that's the plan. So probably next week, I will be streaming. I will be your host, and I was thinking of streaming the new DLC indeed on uh, well, on a test build. So not quite the final version that will get to your hands, but to showcase it so that you can have a look, come and chat. Ask questions about it if you feel like it, and to showcase the incoming release indeed. So that's a plan.
So yeah,
Also, since yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna remind people we do upload all these videos to YouTube, so you can watch there later if you want. Obviously, it won't be live, but that's an option as well.
And also, since this format of having some games, some multiplayer games between community members and commentary seems to be successful and enjoyable for you people, we are thinking of making it a more permanent thing, maybe. So we'll discuss that on Discord and get your feedback and see if you have any ideas or suggestions about that. I want to participate. Anything really, just opening up the discussion to make those weekly streams evolve.
So 3-year settler in Byzantium, so he's going to come settle this site, and then I guess there's still Cyprus is unsettled. No one is really in a position to take that at the moment, although Sion could, if he wanted to, reposition his ship, although it would be quite tricky without Miltos or any support to get a unit over here. So I imagine he probably won't. Stacking up the barbarians down in the corner here. And yeah, Nestor's still got a few issues with barbarians up here. Looks like he is going to try and clear barbarians over trying to take Miltos back, which is, I think, an interesting decision. But still, to see, he's got a choice of a free settler, phalanx, spoked wheel, or steel. All good techs, I'd say. Probably spoked wheel, I would have thought would be quite nice at this point. Would certainly help.
We clarify for those of our viewers who are not British that an interesting decision is a disputable decision.
Yes, that's the polite way of saying, what are you doing, you idiot?
Yes. Sorry, I'm joking about it, but yes, it surprises me a bit. Although that's also a way to catch up, but sending a single unit up there to, I think it needs to commit either way at the least. So either to send, let's say, a pack of 3 strong units to clear them out reasonably quickly and have a settler lined up, or move toward Miletos, but sending one to deal with it on the top north seems not very productive. Although he's acting a bit more coordinating in the east. So
yes, we have at least a few more units. So at least this is going to clear reasonably quickly at this rate, although it's still not going to be rapid unless he gets some more units over. Anyway, he's jumped up a couple more points this turn, and Sardis has gone strong. I'm not sure he can really leverage that at the moment. He hasn't got any good urban buildings that would particularly benefit from strong culture, and I assume we're probably not likely to see too many wonders either. Should just have a look at the wonder list, see what's available. Gardens, Jerwin, Necropolis, Ishtar, Jebel, Mausoleum, Acropolis. Kofon could be interesting.
I don't know if we'll see any wonders this game really, but
yeah, if we did though,
something.
Kofon could certainly be a thing. Getting a trireme out at this point would be nice. He would have to expand Sardis's borders to the coast to actually be able to build it, but that's possible. And then, of course, when we get to Legendary, we've got Colosseum and Heliopolis, which would both be amazing. But yes, that's even less likely to be seen. We're still a long way away from Legendary.
And answering the commenter for WP6 in chat, isn't it best to have another similar-sized and well-balanced map for those weekly streams? Are the designers capable of making such? So there are 3 pre-made dual maps in the game already. There's also a pre-made scenario, if anyone wants to have a new go at that. And we'll be adding new maps, yes, not immediately, but that'll be coming. But nothing prevents people from playing on the random maps either. And we haven't even seen a settled meta on this one, on the median map, which is the most played on stream yet in these duels. So there's already plenty of choice. We have, I think it's over 10 map scripts, which generate widely different maps. So, but depending on what players want to do, everything is possible really. So long as both players agree to a common setup, anything can be done. It doesn't have to be preset maps.
Absolutely, and there was a request on Discord recently for smaller random maps, and we made a little mod to allow tiny maps to be generated, so that is another option. You can get some really small type maps that only have maybe, even in some cases, only maybe 3 city sites aside, if you really want a small duel. But I mean, I think this map works. There's certainly more variety is possible, but yeah, as Kit was saying, I don't think we've seen the full extent of what's capable here yet, and I think it's interesting to compare different strategies on this map, different nations.
Indeed, and I think we would be open for anything. The only criteria really is that the players agree on what they want to play. So I suppose even if 2 players were coming and wanting to play with a modded game, even that we would be happy to do it. Maybe we would need help to commentate on it if we're not familiar with the rule set and the consequences. But anything goes so long as players agree. If maybe not a huge map, on the other hand, because in that case that would be way too long, presumably for a couple of streams. But anything that could fit in, let's say, 3 streams, could be okay. Maybe even potentially a team game if people are interested in that, a 2 versus 2 or something like that. So long as it can, let's say, fit the format, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're kind of experimenting a little bit with these commentated duels. We've only really just started doing them, and the format's definitely open. So tell us what you want to see, and we can certainly try and make that happen.
Oh, you were speaking about wonders.
Yes, so someone. Oh, Scientific has started
Sion is
Ishtar.
putting the Ishtar Gate, so there will be a flurry of events. He has 5 weak cities that will be guaranteed events. If he picks Miletos and Settled Creeks, that will be 2 more probably. So are we seeing a timing VP attack? Are is double victory on?
This is a very good point. So yeah, to get double victory, Scientific only needs to, he needs to get to 20 points. He needs 10 more points. So yeah, settling another city would be 1, and then when Ishtar finishes, that's going to boost them all up to developing. So that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points right there. Plus 2 for the Ishtar is 9. So that would be enough. In fact, all he needs to do is
Yeah.
settle Crete and finish Ishtar. And unless Nestor can get more than 10 points, then yes, he's going to win a double victory.
Indeed, and he can even just get Miletos right in time for the Ishtar Gate and get a 2 more point insurance. So with
Just,
the Miletos and the additional culture to developing, so
just
we'll
to add
see. But he
insult to
just
injury.
yep, light up a bomb and Nestor plan there.
What's is he? Let's just check. Developing. And he still needs quite a lot of culture in the Athena. So yeah, he's not getting any more. But he doesn't need any more. Nestor needs to get some more points quickly or take some points off Scientific, which looks fairly unlikely at this stage.
Also, Cyan left us a comment at Athenai, popping intelligent, written on a hill. So I am not sure if that's for us, if that's a plan to put an intelligent governor there, but makes me laugh nonetheless.
Perhaps just a comment on his Ishtar Gate play.
Well, simply, yeah, maybe he's bragging, so we'll see.
All right. So what can Nestor do about that? So if you say Nestor can clear these 2 sites and settle them, that's another 2 points. He can take Miltos back, that's another 1 point, and indeed, potentially if he does it quickly, he could even get it up to developing. That would be 4 points, that would be enough to stave off the double.
Yes, that would
Seems like
work.
hard work though, yeah, so it's 7 turns away, and he'd have to capture it first. So yeah, I don't think he's got time to take Miltos unless he does it like next turn, basically, because
And
we're on a
ultimately, he's
10-turn timer.
he will still be surrounded by territory and with a hard ratio, of course, with with Ishtar Gate completing and the flurry of event, Sion will get additional bonuses as well. So it's just like getting these events in advance rather than waiting for the culture to accumulate naturally. Of course, it's not like extra events, but still, it's a nice anticipated boost typically. So uh, that might be sufficient to confirm Sion. I think well established upper hand in this rule. It's not clear how he could make way forward in Babylonia, but he's showing that he doesn't need to. So
I wonder if Nestor went all in, say, on trying to capture Byzantium, how well that would work. He's got to be. They're still showing similar strength. He's working on 1 more Akkadian, which will be out in 2 turns.
it would probably not be too bad, actually, if he went all in with everything.
Yeah,
So
I think it would be. I think it would be doable because Sion only has ranged units. I mean, admittedly, in fact, both sides only have ranged units. There's literally not one melee unit on the map.
Yeah, there was one
It's
chariot
crazy.
once, and Sion was ready to sacrifice 2 archers to remove it, so
So
there's
really,
not that
whoever,
many.
if they can pick a battlefield and occupy all the forests, say occupy all the forests around Byzantium, that's going to be very hard to deal with only ranged units.
Yeah, but I think attacking Byzantium is something Nestor can do, but not strictly standing on forest. So it's not really threatening to be blinking at it from 3 tiles away. That's
Well,
something
I mean,
it
look,
gives time to react.
he's
So
got a hero Eagle Eye Acadian who can do 4 damage to Byzantium from range 3, and that's
right, fair
even
enough.
even. Oh yeah, of course they get splash damage, but the other guys can do 2. Yeah, I think he could
Yeah, and
fairly
Commander
easily stand
can
in for us
maybe
there.
even do more adjacent to another one. So yeah, all right, he can do significant damage probably.
With Sion's archers invisible on the wood, then Nestor can bump them off. He can indeed, yes. Of course, they lose their invisibility if they attack, but yeah, Nestor is absolutely free to walk onto the tiles. Sion's archers are hidden on, and they will just get bumped to another forest tile, and potentially bumped a decent way away if he stands on all the forest tiles. I mean, it's quite hard to occupy them all here, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's interesting that we see so much tree play, catching it with Hachi in the first game, here using a tactician leader to hide in the forest. So, yeah, of course, Nestor cannot know how much is invested in settling Crete, which was just done, or just achieved, or standing around his borders everywhere. So that's probably part of what makes him a bit timid, maybe in settling the northern barbarian reaches, or concentrating his forces for a push. Uh, I'm not sure. We'll have to ask after the game.
So W was asking if we have access to the player's science trees. So yes, I was just showing Nestor's. This is now Sion. So Sion has Combo, Sovereignty, and some of the lower text down here. He doesn't have navigation. They don't have serfdom. No melee unit tech here at all, really. He's working on Civic's Boost at the moment. And then going back to Nestor. Nestor is working on Phalanx, so he will actually be getting access to a melee unit soon. He does have navigation, so he can build ships, or at least he could if he had a coastal city. He does have access to serfdom, which I believe he has enacted. Yeah, Nestor's definitely doing better on the science front, I would say. Obviously,
Yeah, for
Compo
sure.
is a higher tech, and which Sion has, but yeah, Nestor's quite well diversified in terms of what he has access to.
For sure, good advance. Although Sion is going for a civics boost, so we might see another surge of rushes potentially. Although he only has 2 archers right now. And W6, yes, I would compliment Fluffy's response. Not only we can see the player science tree, but we can also join as observers in the game. I am looking at my screen with a different viewpoint from the one Fluffy is looking at, and you can do that too. The game is open, so if you join online, join as observer, you can even have a peek at it directly if you wish, and have your own viewpoint on the game as well as the stream.
Just looking at science rate, so Sion is now on 42 science a turn. I believe he's bumped that up quite a lot recently. Let's just check Nestor. Nestor's on 53, so Nestor's still got a lead and is extending that lead on science. But Sion's not doing too bad either.
Yeah, that's 20% more, but yeah, Sion isn't exactly slacking, still getting some additional specialists, and just a lot of cities as well. So it compounds a bit. Yeah, we'll see what that does.
Doing quite well on
His
the.
leader is still intelligent, so every city is science positive, even without much work. It's still a little bit.
Oh, that's something, eh? Intelligent, cunning, swift, greedy tactician with a monkey paw, bone dice, and armor of the hero. Some nice stats there.
Armor of the hero. What is that already?
It's 2 extra courage. So it's
Oh,
giving him an
ever
extra
heard?
9% attack on his archer that he's leading. Yeah, I was going to say he's doing quite well on his Field 8 Generals ambition. He's got 6 generals out. which is, I guess, Assyria for you. Has he got any more eligibles? He does. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 eligible generals.
Yeah, so it's probably waiting to have another one available to be sure. But with 2 military family, it's always easier to feel this ambition for sure, as well as a pick of military leader, of course. Cancel that. Military leader has nothing to do with it, but maybe the military other royals. I haven't checked the family. But yes, the prince and heir is zealot, and so that's a little bit of help as well from the patron's family. So one that doesn't naturally provide many generals, but still quite a few eligible characters everywhere.
So Nestor has teched 2 phalanx. We can start building spears now if he wanted to. He does actually have the wood income now as well, because he's got quite a lot of wood coming out of Tarsa. Some good lumber mills coming up here and working on another one.
Yep, but that each target is just 9 turns out, so he has to hurry. Doesn't have much time.
Indeed.
I don't know if he was planning for a 6 and a 7 slow and get the citadel and all that. The citadel could be quick. He's still a judge. He could still upgrade his stronghold, but getting 2 more lows feels very tight in the timeline. So unless there's a lucky event of some sort, I don't see it happening in a time frame.
Yeah, I think this game's pretty much decided now. I think Nestor's only chance of stopping Siontific from claiming the double victory is probably an attack on Byzantium, which does not look like it's on the cards here.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see where it goes, but it doesn't look too good. If double victory wasn't active, maybe we'd have a better shot at victory.
Yeah, I wonder even if it is worth calling it now and perhaps starting another duel. What do you think, Mr. Kitten, and indeed viewers?
Well, I wonder myself. The question is, do we have 2 players lined up? I don't know if Nestor and Sion would have another go at it directly. Let me check if
I think it
there was
would. I
any
think it would
sense
have
of
to be
a
Sion and Nestor again, unless someone who is currently watching would care to have a go. But yeah, probably
I'll
a
drop them a
rematch.
message just in case, and we'll see if they pick on it.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if Nestor has picked up on the fact that Ishtar is going to end the game. I assume he's aware, but perhaps not. Yeah, it may be that he's just banking on being able to get some more points from settling, but I just don't see it happening. Not without Multos as well.
Yes, indeed. So he's probably settling one side on the Black Sea, but this doesn't look like a blitz either, right? This is not going to be quick. He's not settling all the sides. Doesn't seem like much of a concrete plan at the moment. Can probably still take Miletos, but even with an extra city, that won't be enough. So, yeah, this looks a bit done at the moment. We'll see how that evolves. Oh no, I was thinking that Sion was dangling his ballista, but he's not. He hid it in the forest beyond Miletos, and planning for an attack. Yeah, is moving in with
Oh wow,
commander
right.
as well.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yep, maybe Nestor will get an inkling because his scout got pushed back in the forest by the movement, but you have to pay close attention to feel sure about that. So we'll see what happens. But this looks like Sion might be looking for an angle to straight up move in with his forces. I'm not sure. The Slinger is still in the forest, so that Ballista would be vulnerable in the open. I'm not sure if he's willing to go against Sardis or
Yeah,
just trying to. Maybe he's just preparing for fireworks to celebrate his Ishtar Gate in a few turns. We'll have
or
to see.
perhaps moving around the south, coming in from the southeast, he could get on a nice forest tile here and attack that slinger on the garrison. Would be fairly
Indeed,
easy to kill.
there's quite a few forest tile to inch forward. I haven't seen such a play ever, I think. So I'm definitely interested to see what he has in mind.
It does seem
I don't
like it would
know.
be hard to pull off.
Yeah. So that's why I'm wondering if it's a concrete plan or if it's uh,
Showboating.
laying opening. Well, yeah, sure, exactly. Essentially, when the Ishtar is one turn from completion, the victory is in the bag, and you might as well give blood for the viewers in the arena, right?
Alright, oh, he's rushed an archer out here, so he's definitely planning on getting as many troops as he can for an attack. I mean, I guess he can just attack from all angles, right? He can come in from the southeast down here, he can come in from the north, he can come in from the west as well. So he can
Yep.
surround Sardis completely out would be quite fun.
Yep, and he still has his tactician to just stun someone in the middle as well, so he has quite a few tools to inflict damage at the moment. And his entirely dealt with all barbarians and tribes around, so his entire army is essentially free for the play now.
Yeah, so he's very split. His forces are all over the place up here.
We'll have to see how that goes, yeah. But there are still a few archers and a bit stronger units laying around, and of course he's still pumping out slingers. He just made good use of his civics boost to push two more archers. Well, one more archer this turn. The other are completing naturally, I think. But yeah, three more archers just next turn,
Yeah,
and
it's pretty
units
solid.
streaming in toward Sardis. So yeah.
And Sardis is now rushing ranchers. And yeah, we've got an archive. Yeah, no new military units coming out in Babylon at all at the moment. I mean, to be fair, he does have quite a lot. Not like he's short on units.
Yeah, he does have a bunch, but some of his forces are busy clearing out tribes, so are a bit further in his territory. So yeah, not sure how conclusive that will be.
Should you add a notification at the bottom of the screen that a unit has been bumped from a tile? I mean, I suppose that might be a helpful indication to the player. Yeah, sounds not unreasonable.
All right, so I cannot guarantee that we will necessarily take the full note during the stream. I'm certainly not tooled up at the moment, but drop a suggestion in Discord. That's a valid idea. We'll consider it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly good intel to know when one of your units move.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think we have a specific notification for that at the moment.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't. All right then, Assyria, let's see what you've got.
It's quite a bit. He will have to mobilize his orders to stream everyone in that direction, but with coastal movement everywhere, that looks doable at the very least. It's cutting wood on islands instead at the moment, sending in a walker, cutting wood in front of Miletos.
Interesting. I wonder what he's playing there, or just trying to get wood for more archers, perhaps.
I assume so. He's also paying 14 wood as a pure upkeep at the moment, so it's starting to be hard to buy it, I assume. Interestingly, stone is still more expensive than wood at the moment, which I didn't entirely expect, but that's how it is. But it doesn't seem to be moving in additional units at the moment, or at least it doesn't seem to be his priority for this turn.
Yeah, and the force below Sardis has not moved over.
Well, he sent some archers to
Oh, yeah,
Miltos,
Miltos is
so
getting attacked.
we'll have to see. Some air education to resolve. But he's still a powerful leader, and of course, all his units have 4 fatigue points with a swift leader, so he has some mobility if he decides to move in. Definitely 4 archers, one with the commander that are a bit away from the front line. He's starting to move one closer from his backline cities, and his tactician leader 1 on top, of course.
Rushed another archer out of Athena.
Yes.
Building
Yes.
walls in Anos for some reason. Not quite sure what the advantage of that is.
I don't know. Scramble for late turn scramble, possibly.
Oh well, the rebel has come out of Miltos to attack Sion's workaround. If he was expecting that, I mean, it makes Miltos easier for him to take, I suppose.
It does, yes. I suppose it's still valuable. Oh, interestingly, okay, Babylonia is moving in, bombarding the archer on the island, also bumping some of Sion's units. The ballista is now on the other side of the scout. I don't know if we will pick on the fact that it means there's a scout there. Yeah, and moving in, cleaning up the walker as well with an Acadian archer. All right, some action.
Nice. Good to see. So yeah. And that's kind of trapped Sion in position as well. He can't now move his archers back.
Oh yeah,
The blister would be a nasty surprise, but it can still only do 8 damage to a Acadian, which is, I imagine, not enough to kill it, given that most of his archers are doing 1 to 2.
yeah. Nestor is still alpha saying clearing up the barbarian camps in the north at the moment, which is progressing, but still no city settling. Yeah, of course, Babylon doesn't have sentinel when outside the borders, but these are still forest types. So even attacking the 2 units with the ballista, the first one would take 8 damage, second one would take 5 damage. Would take 10 from a direct attack, so 5 from the piercing one. That's probably not enough to kill either of those units.
Yeah, looks tricky. Sion desperately needs some melee units, as does them both. But Nestor's got a spear now.
Nestor confirmed on Discord that he'll go down guns blazing, so
Yes, we need a bit of action. This is
we'll have
good.
more action. Yeah.
It's interesting that Sion is shooting at Miltos. Oh, he has actually stunned one of the Acadians now with his leader. I wonder if Nestor can do much about that. Probably not, especially not with the positioning there with him behind the river. His spear's only going to do 2 damage because he's just completely surrounded by river. Yeah, it's a really strong tile, that is.
Yeah, and I don't know if he can even reach that tile. He would have to go all the way around with his spear. But it seems he can reach. All right, the other one. But yeah, exposing to the yeah, it's ineffectual. Anyway, nothing would come out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he can start bombarding the archer in the trees. He can do like 2 damage with several units. So even though that's not very much, he can stack up the units and start doing a reasonable amount of damage to that leader. Maybe even get a decent event where the leader gets crippled or even killed. Would be good too.
Yep. Yeah, who knows? I'm not sure what they are targeting at the moment. Oh, Sion is moving it with more, attacking with an archer without having an adjacent one with his commander there. assigning more generals in the backline is up to 7 out of 8.
Okay, yes. Might possibly get that ambition done with a bit of luck.
You can assign another one right now if he wishes to. He'd rather move in by an order and attack.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that he didn't save the commander attack till there was an adjacent unit. Not that it really makes too much difference.
Yes, we will mock him for several months because of that.
Indeed. You've got to take all the optimizations when you can when you're fighting for your life.
Yes, we fully expect players to optimize the fun out of their game, and we are disappointed. 6 turns to the Ishtar Gate, so
He's
still a
going.
timer.
He's going for the leader attack with the spear, even doing 2
Oh
damage
yes!
and taking 5 in return. Brutal.
Oh my God! Yes, tactician. I had forgotten about that. So that spear is not in a great position either. Um, the archers on the island took quite a bit of damage from the Acadians, though, on roads. I mean, sorts of militaries. So Sion will have to rotate them out or do some juggling to keep his strengths intact, even if his tactician is still quite safe, despite Nestor moving in for this turn. He can pretty much flee at his convenience.
Yeah, but it does at least mean that a tactician can't stun anyone next turn unless he's
Yeah.
happy losing that unit. So
Yes,
that's, I
indeed. We
think,
still
worth
have to
doing.
move out. Yeah. Yes. Fair.
If those tacticians can really command the battlefield, especially then they're in such a good position there.
Indeed. Indeed. I don't know if Sion can bring. Well, former archer, he resigned himself to start working on warriors. There are 2 in the work. Some additional slingers are coming in, which won't be wonderfully useful, not when the field is dominated by archers and Acadians.
Nestor has managed to clear a camp and settle a city, so that's
Oh,
something.
fantastic. Yes, that is.
Progress.
Yes. Monasticism will give him a low. I don't think he will be in time to get to citizenship and legal code in time. He has an
No.
ambition for legal code, of course, but and the 7th law would be great, but he's not getting there before the Ishar completes.
Yep. 5 turns to go on the timer for that. Let's
Sion
see
is
what
focusing on
Sion's doing.
militaries rather than the Acadians on the wood, so he's just accepting them at the moment. We'll have to see.
Oh, critical hit. That's very nice. Well, I mean, Tyne can take that city, I assume. He must be able to take that city if he wants to.
Yeah, I don't know if he does, though. I don't know if he wants to.
I mean, what would be the point of attacking it if he didn't, though, right?
Yes. Fair enough. That slinger is probably dying still, but yeah.
Well, he has blocked up the field quite a bit there. Nestor's still got this rebel to deal with, which is blocking access, and there's it's actually quite hard to get down there. I mean,
Aren't the 2 Acadians enough? Not quite.
no, and
All
he's
right,
kind
he's
of.
just occupying the tiles. All right.
He can still kill the slinger with 2 Acadians and a slinger. That would be enough. The Acadians are
Hmm.
doing 17 between them. So
I
yeah,
think
it's something.
I think he's probably just trying to kill as many slingers as he can, not necessarily prioritizing the one capturing the city because he will still have 2 turns to do that. So I still probably maximum mayhem going down in the coming turn.
Let's see, we've got the spearman here, could do 5 to that archer or 4 to that slinger. You could possibly kill that archer on the urban tile.
Oh, yeah, good remark by Nestor in the chat. The river blocks the Zog, so that was a commentary about the movement of the spear. Which could get there because the zone of control from the tactician on the other side of the river didn't preventing him from moving there, which I think is fine. Or go the way and make it a hill. Well, not quite. I think there's quite quite a bit of potential with Miletos, which wasn't really realized in this game, but this is a strong spot, and it opens up interesting possibilities definitely from the western side, which was assumed by the player to be the stronger one before the duel, so or at least by Nestor, if I remember the discussions correctly. Oh, force marching, additional Acadians.
Interesting. Pushing the ballista even further away.
And the two archers who are now on further forests.
Yeah, that's something certainly. What's he can kill it? So it looks like he can probably kill these two slingers, I would imagine, fairly easily now.
So, yes. Yes, some death. Right.
Yep, two slingers down, not too bad.
Yep.
He probably misses his chariot now. I'm sure he does miss his chariot now.
Yes.
That would be very useful indeed.
Yes.
Routing for all those slingers would be glorious.
A last charge. Yeah, made some progress on his kill 15 military units ambition, at the very least.
True. It's like he's given up on this barbarian site. That seems reasonable. I liked that, says Nestor.
I bet he did. Alright, first melee unit from Sion since forever, I believe. A warrior popped up in Pella.
Right, yes, and he's working on another warrior. He's finally realising that they might actually be quite useful, which is good.
I assume so. Let's see if Sion is going for retribution.
What can he kill? I mean, I guess he can kill that spear, although actually even that's not very easy with what he's got.
Well, he can bet on a race in his events.
Tactician can come back and stun someone. Sorry, you were saying he's got a race bet here.
Yeah, no, I was distracting you. Yeah, I'm not sure how much he can kill really, because Acadian are still 6 strength to 5 from a normal archer. All right, stunning.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, moving in
crits from
with
the
the
ballista.
killing
Nasty.
it. And yeah, packing in a commander and a bunch of archer.
Bit of a shame he had to use the stun on a unit he was going to kill anyway, but I assume that's the only way he could get the damage.
Guarantees it, and maybe that was a crit as well. I didn't.
Oh yeah, in fact, yes. Of course, we don't have show crits on. The ballista was a crit, so yes, he didn't even have to do that. But of course, he didn't know he was going to get a crit.
So a lot more archers, though. So we'll see what happens. One of the commander has a bonus. Another one could move on the city to acquire it.
Oh, and Sion's moving in from the north.
Oh yes, as well. All right, attacking the city, preventing rushing. As a warrior moving in as well.
And from the south as well. Okay. Yeah.
But he's out of orders, so lack of focus. He could have killed some units first. Maybe not, actually. Those forests are hampering him as much as are protecting his units.
Yeah, it's not great, that position, but being able to encircle the city like that is glorious. Has to be said.
Yep, it is beautiful indeed.
And
he spent all his training in forced marches and buying orders, so still hasn't completed his 8 generals ambition, which, to be fair, is not what's going to win him the game, but
yes, he has the characters he needs for it now. But yeah, other priorities indeed. All right, what's Nestor going to do about this? Surely you can take another couple of arch kills at least.
Certainly, yes.
Ooh, crit from the slinger. That did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I must say, Nestor is holding better than expected. The Ishtar is still ticking, but the fight isn't going so poorly.
Yeah, I've got to admit, if it wasn't for the Ishtar, then I think Nestor would still be very much be in this game.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a better tactical position holding the forests here.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, he's still like condemning the passes, so it's hard to be decisive for Sion.
For a tactician leader, do ranged units stay hidden when healed, promoted, assigned a general, or only the fully idle ones? I believe it's only attacking that makes you visible. Healing, promoting, assigning general, you remain hidden.
Yeah, I believe so too. To be checked if you want to be 100% sure, but yes, I believe only attacking uh, reveals the unit.
It's like a porcupine. Ah, yes, lost another guy to that ballista. Oh, was that last turn? Maybe that was last turn.
Yes, yes, it was. It was Akkadian who died from
But Nestor
the combined attack.
killed 4 units that turn. 2 slingers, an archer, and a warrior. It's not bad.
Yeah, and better time management also, because Sion moved in with several units who couldn't even attack or didn't attack anyway. So I'm not sure of that, how much of that was planned, but I assume some of that was also maybe not having time to count his orders and to know exactly how to go about this attack.
So yeah, Nestor's killing more than Sion at the moment, but I think Sion's
Yeah,
just extra military unit production, the fact he's got double his number of cities is making a big difference here. And the civics boost, letting him rush people out, just means he can replace units a lot faster, so he can afford to lose more.
yeah,
Nestor is a
less
skilled
for
general,
wise in
yes, he
production.
is. He is playing well indeed. Can't fault the military defence here.
Yeah, no, that's solid. As much as I wasn't convinced with the Alpha Chief attack on the barbarian side in the north, I think well, instinctively, what I would do is probably put like 4 units on the same camp and just like clear it out, be done, move onto the next one. But on the other hand, is defense and counterattack and resilience around Miletos is solid. Yeah, the patience to stay out and is still inflicting quite a bit of damage in a situation when the overall map situation is very dominating from science. So good on him.
It looks like Sion doesn't actually have the orders to keep his attack going. He's not used his units in the north here up at all, and he has left an archer exposed. So that is going to die very easily, that archer, to 3 slinger attacks.
Oh,
So yeah,
that's
definitely, yeah, not using his units as well. The
indeed
the
rebel
rebel warrior
warrior.
is very much getting in the way there. Yeah,
If I could rename that unit, I would find it an interesting name for sure. That's uh, that's a point of focus for some time now.
and he is attacking Sion, so Nestor is benefiting from him somewhat, although obviously it's making somewhat tricky for both sides to get around. So yeah, this
Mhm.
Akkadian here is going to die. There's not a lot he can do about that. He is
Yeah,
taking
ballista surrounded, stunned.
some attack on the ballista. That seems a little bit like a waste of time. I'm not sure he's ever going to kill that ballista.
It doesn't look likely now. And next turn that ballista is attacking, probably killing both. Well, setting up a kill on both Acadians. Then the tactician leader is free to stun whoever else. Of course, at long last, getting kills on those Acadians will be extra orders for science, so probably fuel a more effective turn with more actual kills. So, yeah, the writing is on the wall, I'm afraid. Still, valiant defense, so.
Indeed, indeed. Let's hope Nestor doesn't forget about this archer up in the north. I definitely want to see one of these get killed. There we go. he's on it. Nice. So yeah, another
Done it.
5 kills. Oh, he's actually killed the rebel warrior this turn. So yeah, 5 kills. Not bad at all.
Solid turn indeed.
Yes, Sion is distracting Nestor from settling more sites. Not that I think he could have settled enough in any event, even if he hadn't attacked. But yeah,
Yeah,
keeping his
even
focus.
admitting he could reach Cyprus and reach two more sites, that would be what, 11, maybe even say 12 victory points. Are still not enough to get from under the incoming victory.
Yeah, Nestor really needed to take Miltos back. How long have we got left on the timer now? 2 years. 2 years to go. So nobody's taking Miltos before the win, or perhaps Sion will on the turn he wins.
Yes, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I think the city gets captured before the victory point. Maybe we'll get a bit of old world science.
What heir does Babylonia have? Can the leader turn this around? Let's have a look at Babylonia. I mean, he doesn't have the training for any offensive, so it doesn't really matter.
And the princess is a schemer, so
yeah, not really going to do the job, I'm afraid. Yeah, the judge was a nice eco play, but it doesn't really compare to a tactician in warfare. And what has he got in terms of... Yeah, he's got a schemer and then a 15-year-old second in line, so no archetype yet, and a 14-year-old who's off exploring. So no one who can help out immediately.
Oh, enlisting. Sion switched to his zealot. I don't know if he died, and he's just
Fun.
buying an Acadian for himself.
Yeah, that's nice, and that's a great position for that academy to be in as well on the forest. So
And that's 2 kills for additional orders, and he's going to pile up the kills now.
cool enlist indeed. Nice. Good use of... Oh, hang on a minute. When did he even... I hadn't even realised he changed to a zealot. Yeah, of course. He would have had to. He's...
I don't know if that's an abdication or if he died. I haven't checked that. Yes, it's an abdication, so that's 100% deliberate.
Yeah, very good. He stunned Northern Miltos first and then abdicated and then did the conversion.
Oh, well
Nice.
caught, Nestor. Yes, indeed.
Always fun. Yeah, no,
Yes,
that was well planned out then. Yeah, because he had to have his hero and the heir as generals ready to go, so he'd obviously thought that through. But yeah, he's got a lot of interesting ideas as our Sion.
And yeah, the Treaty Slinger units are no longer hidden on forest, though, so we will see if that results in a few more kills, maybe one of those straggler archers. No idea.
Yes, I was calling Sion our reigning champion earlier, and he was a little bit resistant to that, having only won 1 duel, but I think it's safe to say that after 2 he is very much and likely will remain the reigning champion here.
It looks that way, yes. Yes, indeed. We still have this intelligent...
well, that's a notification you don't see very often. Unit captured.
Yep, that's with enlisting.
It's not very often that you're on the receiving end of that. So what can Nestor do now? He can possibly kill that archer. He can kill that archer.
Does kill that archers.
Maybe he can take out another unit. Yeah, he can probably take out this archer up here, right? In the open ground. He's still keeping up the kills reasonably well. Oh, especially if he gets a crit.
Slinger got the crit. All right.
Oh, he's 1 point of damage off killing it with 1 Acadian, but another slinger helps. Yeah, he's starting to run a little bit low on units at this point now.
That was
Fortunately.
always going to happen. So yeah.
Yeah, and Sion again is just outproducing him. Look at all the units that are getting spammed out. Another 4 warriors on the go in this area. Whereas, yeah, Nestor can just muster up 1 Akkadian. It's the only military unit that's being produced here. Can Assyria capture another unit? He does have the civics for it, so yeah, he probably can. I don't know if there's any good candidates here. One of the Akkadians up here, I guess, but it's probably going to be quite difficult to kill any of these people.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not sure if that's a good target. You could definitely capture a slinger, but that I wouldn't rate that worth 400 civics. But as you can see, despite the high price, Enlist can. Well, yeah, the game was already decided, but when you capture a high value unit, that can be very valuable.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked like a mistake. He's just moved his bioream and anchored it without moving any units first, which is probably not what you want to do. You want to re-anchor at the end of your turn.
Yeah, indeed. It's hard to keep the orders stashed away though. So when playing with a timer, so
yes,
we'll see what he does.
No
I'm sure I cannot lose this game anymore now. So
yep,
we'll have to.
Yep. So let me just check my point calculation is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weak cities are going to go to developing for 5 points. Ishtar is 2. Yep, he gets 20 for sure next turn. Plus 21 from having Nortos, possibly 22. Yeah, depending on the order of operations. Does he capture it first before Ishtar triggers? Not sure.
Indeed, there's a bit of security there. We'll see. We'll see if Miletos gets to developing instantly. That would be interesting to see. All right, he's done computing. He's moving in. He's probably planning to enlist another Akkadian, if I have to guess.
I don't think he can. He can't move his leader Archer due to the anchor.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know what he's doing. Is the result of that?
I think he's possibly decided that it doesn't really matter too much anymore.
Yes. And to be fair, it doesn't.
Oh, he did manage to kill a slinger at least. That's not too shoddy.
The thing is, the rebel warrior is reborn at Aenos, so it is the immortal rebel. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
It's just gone for a boat trip. Sailed across the Aegean. Nice. Well, cool game. Has he? Oh, he hasn't captured. No, he has spent all his civics though. I guess he's rushed another unit. Or maybe enacted a law. Must have enacted a law. Yeah, he's up to 4 laws now.
Yes, he had an open law. I think he just adopted tyranny, which feels fitting. Or maybe vassalage? I haven't had a close look on his resources. No, I think that's...
oh, wow, and he's starting another wondrous. He's going for the necropolis as well.
Oh, man. All right, he's tiling now.
Yeah. Definitely fully in control here. So what
How did he even get to that tile? Is that a late border boost that got him there?
Which tile are you talking about?
The one he started the necropolis on. It's quite a way away from Pella city center.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm pretty sure he did border boost at some point, but yeah, that is a long way away. He doesn't have colonies, does he? Doesn't have navigation.
No, he doesn't. Don't be unreasonable now. Of course he doesn't have colonies. I'm joking. He might, but the game is hard enough that it would be hard to pass serfdom in this context. All right, he's not capturing the city next turn, so we won't know what happens.
Oh, yes, indeed. What a shame. Wouldn't it be amazing if Nestor came up with some amazing play to cancel the Ishtar Gate this turn, just swarmed over and took it off him?
He did a few ships, enough to protect them and to be able to anchor and to strike at Athena, and a lot of setup to be able to cross and do that. So.
Indeed, and I'm sure if there was any chance that Sion would have protected it, but even so, nice to think about.
Yep. And at the end of the game, Nestor is still similar and learned to Sion. So if he wasn't, let's say, forced into this big fight, he would probably have a chance without double victory on. But so well played, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if assuming double victory wasn't on, Nestor would have to would still have to be pushing Sion, but Sion would still have a huge point lead.
Yes. He would, he would still have a chance. He would not be equal, I suppose. But assuming he reaches Cimmerian archers and he manages to upgrade part of that army, that would be a thing, right? He would definitely be first to 8 strength units. And there we go, victory to Sion. Well played.
Woohoo! Victory in Assyria, defeat in Babylonia. So yeah, that was a decent fight, I think. Both pretty well played on both sides. Yeah. Judge Master Showcase. Let's have a look at some stats, shall we? Let's see this now. Wow.
Right, so I'll chat up our players and see if they want to come and commentate a bit, have a chat on stream.
So
Maybe answer the questions.
Sion was way richer, had loads more pop. Yeah, only had a small advantage in specialists despite having way more cities. Both produced about the same amount of workers. Sion, yeah, look at that military production though. 28 military units produced to 18. Even though Nestor had 9 Akkadians, Sion just absolutely spammed the slingers and the archers.
Yes, I'll be inviting the players in our call. So sorry, I was chatting with them.
Yeah, Nestor lost way less, 19 to 11, and killed more. So yeah, Nestor was more efficient in killing, but Sion was way more efficient in producing. Five to 4 laws, not too much dissimilar in tech.
Right. Hello.
Hello, Sion, are you there? I'm not hearing anyone, are you?
I hear only you, so... Oh, Nestor is with us? Yes.
Hello!
You hear me?
Yes.
Hello, Sion. Yes, we hear you both.
Nice. Well, that was a fun game.
Yes, well played both of you, and congratulations, Sion, of course. But yeah, it was a good fight on both sides, I thought.
Yeah. No, I think we at least got some action in the end, and I think that part was lots of fun action.
Yeah, just looking at the stats, Sion outproduced you massively, 28 units to 18. But you killed more and lost less. So you killed.
Yeah, it's that Sentinel light.
Yeah, and the Akkadians, of course, were the strong units there. You did some good work with them.
No. So I mean, I think as I had mentioned prior to this, I mean, we had an interesting setup. I guess you discussed the setup we had on stream during the game that we.
Yes, last week I suppose, but yeah, feel free to recap.
I proclaimed both the nation I was going to play and the spawn prior to the game starting. So we had both time to kind of plan ahead, and I had a plan. I had play tested my strategy, and I had great hopes. But as usual with plans, they don't really survive reality. And I think we saw that in the fight for the Bosphorus city.
Yeah, definitely.
Skirmish.
I assume the judge strategy, right? Pushing for developing culture, upgrading to a stronghold, getting for quick close, and all that was planned. But I also assume you were taken a bit by surprise by by Sion, playing champion, having the militia on top, taking the Bosphorus first.
I was surprised by him taking the Bosphorus first, but not playing champion. I assumed, knowing, I was thinking like, okay, what would I play? I assumed that Sion would figure out immediately that I was going for a greedy play, both because he knows I'm a greedy player, and because he knows the game better than anyone. So I figured he'd figure out my my unique unit strategy. And so I figured, like, okay, what would I play against this? And then I thought, okay, I would just rush Axeman with Rome or Assyria. That's kind of what I was expecting. That was kind of my expectation. But I had because I had tried to think about, okay, how when I had thought about this map, I felt like the eastern side, the Persian side, was much stronger than the western one, because I couldn't see how you contest the Bosphorus as the Greek side. And that's because it's closer to it from the Persian side. And there's that annoying river there on the Persian side of the Bosphorus city. So I was thinking, okay, if he goes Rome, then I was thinking, okay, then he could rush that. I didn't think of the settling champions and having 2 units immediately, the militia plus the starting unit, to take out the Ainos city before going to Byzantium.
Yeah, that was super effective. Yeah, because he cleared that in 2 turns.
That was very impressive.
Yeah, so it was quick and it's hard to contest. Sorry, go on.
No, when I was thinking about how he'd contest the Bosphorus city, I thought, okay, what if he goes Rome and he walks around the mountains around the Rhodo River?
Go above Ainos without...
Yeah, exactly. Completely skip Ainos. And then I was thinking about it with Rome, and then I was thinking, okay, but then even if he has his Roman unit there at the Bosphorus, my slinger will be behind this river on the Bosphorus city site, and I can force the new barbarian unit if there's like a standoff, and there's like a second barbarian unit that spawns there in the beginning. I can force it to end up on the Greek side. So I thought I would have an advantage there, and I didn't think about I didn't think about Siontific doing what he did. So I just kind of ran when I saw it. I just kind of realized, okay, I'm not gonna be able to fight this, and so I went to a plan B.
Yeah, which is the only thing you could have done, really. You know, with champions and 2 units, you couldn't have contested that. So yeah, you had to back off. It made sense. Made sense to try for it.
Think about the early game, Sion.
You sound very far away, Sion. So I don't know if you have. It feels like it's picking a microphone that is 10 meters from you, so maybe not the expected one. So.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Sion. Check your mic settings.
Yeah, I think there's like 2 microphones. I think there's like a second microphone in the maybe on your desk that's picking up the sound. That's what it sounds like. I can explain my reaction while Sion fixes his microphone. Right, so I realized I had like a critical mistake, because now we played with starting text on, and I think that was actually quite fun, which is like not something I'm not used to doing. And when you play without starting text on, right, in the first turn, you can choose between any of the original texts, right? I assumed it would be the same with the starting text on in my in my starting text on ignorance. So I thought if he goes Assyria, then I assumed he would just pick Axeman as his first tech, and I assumed that he would have access to it, and that he could just pick Axemans right away. So when I went for plan B, I assumed, okay, he's going to have axemans in like 10, 15 turns. So I built a crazy amount of slingers. And I think that kind of set me back quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think we saw you the first melee unit produced was a warrior by Sion on, or maybe even your spearman, but that was about the same turn, some 5 turns ago. Before that, of course, we had your chariot, which was breaking to see die at the end of last stream. Yeah. That felt like a big sacrifice on Sion's part
No,
at
I
the
don't
end of
think
last
so.
stream to move in with 2 Archer, but I think it was the right play indeed.
Yeah.
That was worth it.
The ballista, I mean the chariot was the only thing that could have taken out the ballista when it was hiding there in the woods.
Yep.
I mean, it was just destroying my units in that fight there. I mean, if I had the chariot, I could probably kill the ballista pretty easily. But
Mic check.
Oh, that sounds better.
Yep.
Yes.
Now we hear you.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
That's right.
No worries.
So
you want to tell us your like starting thoughts?
Well, that was a really good game, and the contesting the Bosporus was a big thing. I heard the tail end of what you were talking about that. So I was when I did some tests on this with champions. That's one of the reasons why I went schemer. There was some confidence I had that even if I had a warrior, with the 2 units that could apply pressure to you, because the river there is actually on the east sides of the map. So even though you have a slinger and it doesn't bother you, I was thinking if I could just get my city up, then you're going to lose momentum if I can actually take possession of the site before you can. So I was actually pretty excited by that, because I had anticipated that if you go straight for the Bosporus and I put pressure on that, then basically you're just going to waste clearing time for like the first 5 turns. But you did a really good job pivoting immediately. Like as soon as you saw me there, you didn't even bother. You just turned right around. So that was great.
Yeah, it did salvage something, but I think ultimately I didn't really play test the plan B, which I think was a mistake, my original mistake. So I didn't really realize how much momentum I would lose by not getting that Bosphorus city site.
Yeah, and you know what I will say though, I was very surprised, because obviously, like, we kind of were cooking up ideas before going into this map of what we could or couldn't do. So I actually played your side again, like just a starting thing, because we didn't have ruins in the last game, and I was thinking, can he get to that ruin before me? And all of my tests said no. So when you beat me, I was really surprised. And then the thing that I had left out was I didn't factor in the fact that you wouldn't be using your worker first.
Yeah.
So that was really surprised, because I would have done something slightly different with my scout. I would have went for my other ruin first, just to pop it early and then just continue exploring. So that was something that when I saw you come up and steal that ruin on the first turn, or second turn rather, I was really surprised by that.
No, I knew for sure that would be contested. I knew you want to go for it, and I think I also did that because I wanted to get vision immediately for how you would respond for the boss rotating. So that's why I moved that scout up there immediately for turn 2, so that turn 3 I could see immediately what you would be doing if you were moving in, and I could see immediately, okay, I have to ditch, right? Ditch the contesting boss rush.
On the note of the strength of each side, I do think it's relatively balanced. I think the East has a better side overall, but one thing that really, really helps the West, the Greek side, is the movement, the connection, and because that means growth, that means better movement, that means all your cities are immediately connected. So there's a lot going for it, even though like the area itself is really tight and difficult to develop. I think it's easier to expand quicker. So it's kind of like um, a contrast there, where I think the eastern side is better to develop long term, perhaps, but the western side is like quicker to get online, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think you're completely right on that. I mean, I think my sense that the eastern side was better was, I think, entirely premised on the Bosphorus side, because my analysis of it was very much that the Bosphorus was the Persia's to lose. That was my thinking. And so when I had kind of playtested the Greek side, I thought, okay, I'm not even gonna bother contesting the Bosphorus, and I'm going to try turtling instead, because I thought, okay, it's really hard to attack into Greece. There's this Strymon River, and you can't really cross that one very easily by Pella. And so I thought, okay, well, Greece can just turtle, and so then you can just be greedy as greedy as you want early game and just develop. So that's kind of how I thought about the western side. But
one thing I wanted to ask about that I thought was quite interesting was obviously Sion had a huge advantage in being able to secure the coastline towards you and down to Miltos and being able to get units over there. You did have the opportunity to take border boost, which would have perhaps reversed that situation. Do you regret not taking border boost?
In hindsight, yes, I do regret it. I mean, at the time I didn't think of how big a deal it would play in terms of kind of limiting the assault potential for Sion. I was just thinking, I'm behind, and I have two cities,
trying to rush to
border
your
boost not going to give me shit.
I wanted to ask about that, because indeed, when we saw it briefly on screen last week, when you had the opportunity to pick border boost, which was early because you started with rhetoric as Babylon. Obviously, you wanted to follow your follow, so going divination, aristocracy, and sovereignty, civic boost. But the land grab, well, the water grab actually for Miletos was quite powerful, reaching up to Athena. And I think even if it would have been hard to weaponize to land units, because it could be blocked with like a pair of units on the coast or something like that, it would have cut into the movement advantage from Greece. You would have had a northern zone and a southern zone. So I haven't seen it played out
I think you're completely right. I think that's one of my big misses this game. But I think that one kind of flew over my head in the hidden moment. So that was not. I think I would have made that one even if there was undo on. I would have made that mistake, I think.
I think it was pretty hard. There's a lot of pressure, playing with a timer, playing on stream, playing
and I think that this is
then the pivot, right? Having to change your strat after losing the boss.
And I think this has to be in the context of I thought that Siontific could pick Axeman as his first take. So I thought there was like, okay, I have 15 turns to prepare before Axeman show up. And so I think there was like, okay, I don't have time with border boosts. I have to get my unique unit up.
To be honest, I probably should have. One of the reasons I felt a little bad going for the Ishtar double finish in the end there, but one of the reasons why I decided to go for it was because I had a strong feeling that your science was better than mine, and basically, I kind of had a position, I think, early on where I could have like just kind of went into your capital with something like 4 archers and 2 slingers. The ballista wasn't here yet, and I think maybe I could have finished it off a little sooner, but I was like, no, I'll wait for the ballista just in case. And that's around the time you got the chariot, and then suddenly there's like 3 or 4 unique units coming online, and I'm like, oh, shit, this is a problem. I don't think I can do this anymore. So yeah, no, I
maybe
was
you
worried
could
about
have, but
momentum, losing the momentum.
yeah, I think maybe you could have, but on the other hand, I had quite a few slingers, and Sentinel slingers are pretty scary. And also I was pretty careful to keep my my Kassite family happy all game. So I mostly had the 10% bonus combat, and Sentinel plus the 10% bonus combat is pretty, even if they're slingers, it's
it's
Yeah,
dangerous.
it's very powerful. The other thing too, I was worried about, I started the Ishtar, but even outside of that, I was kind of worried a little bit long term of like, if I mess up, if I lose too many, because I think by the time we started this game today, because I could see most of what you had,
Yeah.
and from what I could see, I counted at least 12 units, and at that time, I also had exactly 12
Oh,
units,
wow, yeah.
and that was before you killed the 2 archers that was in your territory. So we were already 12 to 10, and I was like,
Wow,
oh
okay.
no. But I was
Yeah.
thinking if I could just get my unique unit online, that would swing things back in my favor because that kind of counters yours a little bit.
Yeah.
But then the issue I was just having was like, oh man, I don't want to run out of time. And then you are at 5 laws, which is like, do you get to your 7th and then start? Now you have 8 strength units. So I was just like, I think I should I dumped a lot of my economy into purchasing the Ishtar. I even built like 4 or 5 treasuries all over my empire, like at
wow.
once.
I was wondering about them. Yeah, well, why is he building treasuries? So that was to fund an Ishtar.
It was everything with an effort to get like as big a dump as I possibly could get, a gold dump. I even got an event that allowed me to get like 200 stone, but I picked the 300 wood, which was probably a good idea in the long run. But after I picked the 300 wood and built a couple more archers, I was like, wait a minute, that was more stone. I could have just built the Ishtar right now. I was nervous about, because I knew you had navigation, so I was nervous about you getting the gold boost and buying it yourself.
Yeah. I didn't really think about the Ishtar play, but I think it was wise. It was wise. You have to keep your head cool and think through the strategies. And I didn't really see the Ishtar coming. Which you always should see the Ishtar coming. I mean, that's one of the basic lessons of old war multiplayer. Always see the Ishtar coming.
There is global victory in the game. You have to pay attention to Ishtar, but we've also all lost at least one game to it, and
I've lost more than one game.
Usually several because you forget with time. So
yeah. It's mostly in multiplayer games these days. I see double turned off. Just because it's a little bit of a shock, and I wonder how you felt about that. Would you rather have? Are you happy it was on, or would you rather have seen it off?
I think it was good for this kind of show match. I mean, I think I think I was quite worried about my position in this game. I mean, I really lost the momentum, and I think, I think going kind of circling back to the which side is stronger. Going into this, I thought East was definitely stronger than West. Having played this now in multiplayer for the first time, I think it's probably even. And I would have played the East substantially differently, I think. I really struggled with orders. So my economy was really absolutely crap. And so, like, going into today, like ending of last week, I thought it was GG, honestly.
This map is kind of like made with Persia in mind. So I think Persia on that side would get a lot of orders because of the pastures and stuff. And then one thing I was thinking about when I like conceptualize contesting the Bosporus, because again, in the normal setup, if you'd have Greece versus Persia, you'd have the same issue where you have a champion civilization that can really put pressure on Byzantium. And that's what happened in my game with Fluffy. He went to the Bosporus. He actually managed to clear it before he did, but then I showed up with the units and he kind of had to back off. So I wonder if the real play when you're on the East is actually to just like let the West get the Bosporus and just focus on clearing your mainland territory and not getting stuck in an early contest.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. Because I think if I had done that, I think instead of at the time when I cleared my third city, I would have been at the city behind that one. I don't remember what it's called. The one by the river.
Anos?
Miletos.
Yeah, I think that was made. No. On my side, on the eastern side, like the Kassite city. Yeah, Hattusa. I would have been in Hattusa.
Okay.
So I think I could have cleared Hattusa with like my first slinger, and I could have just. I would probably have like. Yeah, I think if you manipulate AI, you can clear the Hattusa with your first sling, especially if you found hunters, so you can get a decent general. And I think if I had done that, my momentum would have been completely different.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And
That's a powerful hunter spot. There's like 3 camps, I think, around there that you can reach.
Exactly. Because my build was kind of centered around I'm gonna found hunters first, and my second city is gonna be hunters as well. And in my second city, I'm just gonna build slingers, basically.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm gonna survive an Axeman rush with sentinel slingers. And because I couldn't get up my second hunter city, I ended up
It's
just
so
building
funny.
slingers in my capital. And then I
It's
couldn't
so
develop
funny that
either Miletos or Ankara.
what I find funny is that you and I had each other pegged completely wrong. You thought I was going to rush axes, which, to be totally honest, would probably have been a way better idea. And I actually, for whatever reason, I assumed you were going to try to get an early ballista too with the the science boost and maybe trying to luck into something with sages. And so when you went for the 4 laws and had your unique unit online, and I was so far behind in momentum on that, I don't think I even had a single law by the time you had all 4. I was just thinking to myself, boy, I really might have messed this up. So it's kind of funny how we both had a prediction of what the other person was going to do, and it ended up being totally wrong.
Well, yeah. No, but that I think that was fun. I mean, I think that's was part of what I enjoy with this format. Is right, we had the map set. We could prepare our strategies in advance. I think that makes for a very different kind of type of old world multiplayer play. I think it's actually really fun. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I enjoyed playing with the laws turned on. I know that was an initiative by Siontific.
So I
I
have a
usually
question
never play.
for you.
Yeah.
When I was basically harassing, poking down, and ultimately Miletos fell because of that super unlucky rebel event, by the way.
That rebel man, he was the best, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was so awesome. It was really great. But I was wondering, you were stockpiling hardcore in the capital. Did you make note of the fact that I had a tactician ruler, and did you assume there was a bunch of archers just north of you? Or were you just turtling?
I think when I knew that you had a bunch of units because I have the habit of always looking at the hovering over your my enemy's nameplate and seeing what your relative power level is. I mean, that's like I skip scouts and I rely on that on that value. That's like my scouting, and so I knew that you were like similar or and sometimes even stronger than me, and so I knew that in the fog of war there's a bunch of units. And the movement, I didn't have great movement between my capital and Miletos. Also, by that time, I had no orders, basically. And all my units were slingers. So to move, like, my bulk of my forces would have required, like, 3 turns of just moving units and probably not even being able to attack them. So I knew that I couldn't defend Miletos, and so I just ditched it, basically.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, that was a
super
funny
awkward to move between Sardis and Miltos with those mountains there and the narrow gaps and the rough terrain. I think that's another reason why, controlling the coast and getting that border boost would have made a huge difference, because it is really hard to get between those two cities. As we saw, both players ended up just no one
Or
wants
getting
Miltos.
roads earlier. I mean, if I had gotten roads earlier, I probably could have defended it. But
but need labor force for that, and that's not always easy to achieve, especially if you're going for sovereignty and all that. I would just note that but despite you saying, Sion, that maybe Steel and Axemen would have been a better play, the mass slinger you got worked very well, obviously, with inheriting the throne with a tactician. So that was quite a thing. And also, just thank you for not breaking the map. I'm very pleased because I edited this map that it's still somewhat balanced, or at least still in the air, and maybe we'll have a consensus with a few more games, but we haven't seen it all yet in a few stream games, so that's very pleasing and reassuring for my part.
No, I think the status of as balanced is still safe. I think
All right, that will maybe change, but I'll keep an eye on it, and if you have feedbacks on specific things, I'm definitely paying attention, and will be willing to come back to it and improve. Sometimes just a tile, a bit easier passage between the mountains, or a river here can change things.
I mean, I think it's fine. I think, as Sion said, I think it kind of creates a difference between the sides, and I think you have to kind of. I think the best play on the Persian side is, as Sion said, to drop the Bosphorus and focus on expanding eastward.
Assuming your opponent goes champion, which is maybe not.
Yeah, but I think even if they don't, I mean, it's hard to know, prior to them settling, right? It's
fair enough.
And I think if you do that, then you're quite protected. Nestor,
did you rush? Oh, I apologize. Sorry. Did you rush with civics any of your unique units, or did you just hard train them all? Was your training that good in your capital?
My training was really good in my capital. I 3-turned them. I was 3-turning them. I rushed like 2 maybe.
Wow. The
That's
civics
awesome.
boost went into Arcadian Archers, I'm pretty sure, just after you got.
Yeah, because well, now it's 28, but now I don't have my leader anymore. My leader died. My leader was a warlike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had a warlike leader, and it was 28 on base. So I think I was like 45, 50-ish training per turn.
Yes, I was cringing for you because you had your bold warlike leader, and you had a slothful oligarch of your Sage family who was hating you despite also being a judge because of that. So that was a minus 80. And then when they died, it was a schemer instead, so they still hated you. So
that's tough times.
I was
I was
observing that
by
things, not very influential, but.
See, Pella just has a casual 54 training a turn. Champions for you.
The broken champions. I mean, champions is my. I mean, context. Anyone who's played against me knows that Assyria is my favorite nation. Champions. I love champions, and I love the champion seat. I mean, it's having a. you can easily get it to be like 80 training per turn quite quickly, and it's an 80 training per turn city is just bonkers.
It is.
Yeah, I think Champions is definitely very strong for small maps like this, being able to just spam out units, and we saw that Sion was able to just overwhelm you with military units, even though he lost loads more. He just had the production to keep hammering you with them.
Yeah, and just
it was very satisfying for me though in the end when we just like got crowded with slingers, and I got the AoEs of all my Guardian archers. I mean, I knew I had lost and I was losing, but it was very satisfying to shoot those.
Better to go down fighting for sure. Yeah. And I mean, champion seat as well. Well, we are going a bit beyond this game and this map here, but the very simple, obvious fact that you start with steadfast and an additional unit is quite a boost in early expansion, right? So maybe it doesn't do that much 50 turns in, but just getting to clear NOs almost instantly. I'm not sure if you didn't even get a lucky crit, Sion. I will look at the footage. And then being able to be at Byzantium essentially at the same time as Nestor was reaching it was quite something. So champion strong.
Champion strong indeed. Right, question for you, Siontific. I tell you what I thought was funny. You started the Ishtar Gate and then almost immediately dropped a ping next to it saying intelligent. Was that a boast? Are you saying you're super intelligent because you started the Ishtar Gate? He's gone quiet.
You're asking why I put the
himself.
pin there?
Yes, because there's a ping just beside Athenai, and we noticed it at the same time as Ishtar Gate. So I don't know if it was an old ping at the time or if it was a comment on your play.
Okay, so the reason for that was because my queen had just became intelligent, and I was very, very excited and happy about that because I knew science was my issue.
Fair enough.
All right, so it was a celebration ping. We were wondering a bit during the stream.
That's good. I should make some more celebration pings, I think.
Yeah, just
maybe
show
get
off.
that trending, but yeah. Oh, also, we commented on stream last week, but we didn't get your discussions. But the Byrim play, right? The fact that you both got free Byrim and the snipe.
So many turns in the coming as well. It was just inching forwards and then stopping and thought, "Come on, pull the trigger. We want to see it."
Yeah, I had no idea that Sion had a Byrim. I thought, like, oh, nice, I have a Byrim. And I didn't realize that he knew. And I mean, I didn't really think that much of it. I think it was it's like safe behind there. But I feel like I don't often see the free Byrim play in multiplayer. I think I just didn't really think that it was a high likelihood that he would also get it. I think I thought it was, my Byrim is just sitting there safe.
To be fair, I don't think it's that high a likelihood. That's something that can pop of having a seal on mark event, I believe. But there's probably something fishy because there were like 5 events that were identical in the first stream. I think Fluffy counted.
Yeah, no, I had a look. It was not that many, and I think they were all pretty common. So the one that gives you the free Byrim pops when you found a city and discover a coastal landmark at the same time, which obviously is quite likely if you're finding a city right on the coast and you get some more vision. So I think it's just a relatively common event that maybe doesn't happen super often most of the time, but because this is a coastal map and you both found in coastal cities, it just happened. So yeah, it's reasonable not to expect it necessarily, but yeah.
I still have my suspicions. I still want to look at the seals and everything. But
it was a lot of fun, I gotta say, because I couldn't figure out how to work the vision thing, so I didn't know if you could actually see me, so I was literally just inching along at the very bottom of the map, the furthest possible tile I could be moving along, hoping that I didn't get into your line of sight.
Yeah, and it was amazing. It was amazing that you couldn't see it because you were literally one tile outside of his vision the entire time, so it looked very deliberate from what we were seeing.
Insane. That's crazy. Yeah. I think.
No, entirely accidental.
Yeah.
That spite play of blocking Cyprus site with your scout. The Assyrian scout is still stranded there after the whole game. That was a thing as well.
Yeah, I was hoping founding.
Well, hey, that
Tarsa
actually,
would give
if he
me
managed
access.
to get there, he would have been closer to denying me the double.
Yeah. Sure. But I was also trying to expand there. I mean, now you're 21. I mean, I could maybe have denied you because I was like trying to expand. I mean, I have 2 settlers ready now. Well, at least I have 1, and I could have easily gotten the second one.
Yeah.
I was trying. There are like 2 free city sites on my side of the map still, and
bear
instead
in
of
mind,
attacking, I could have cleared them out, I think.
bear in mind, Miltos is now only 4 turns away from going up in culture level as well. So yeah,
Sure,
I was kind of hoping that you'd take that back earlier and get a culture out of that to get some points. But yeah,
No, I thought
not
I was
quite
hopeless to get. I mean,
Yeah,
certainly hard work.
we commented on it during the game, but it felt a bit like so obviously you couldn't just like leave Sardis empty, right? But that you weren't like fully committed to clearing out the sites on the northern coast to settle the spots, and maybe you could have inched a few more VPs. I'm not too sure. Obviously, the Ishtar Gate is still very hard to counter, but
I think I'm not sure. I think I'm not sure exactly why I did like that. I think it was mostly an orders thing, honestly.
Yeah,
I
the
think
order crunch was
I
hard.
just think I didn't have the orders to move my units, and I think maybe it looked like I had an immense bunching in Sardis because I produced so many slingers, and I did that because I expected much of Axeman to pop up, and then I thought, okay, I'm just gonna keep them there because that's probably where the attack would happen. But yeah, I think in hindsight, right? I mean, I would probably have been better off moving slingers down to Miletos and letting them kind of chill there. I could have blocked some of the coastline, and that would have made it harder for Sion to take the city. And
Yeah.
It's interesting that both sides of the map have. Well, I mean, mine technically required a boat because I got on Rhodes and the other island. But in the game I played against on this map with Fluffy, he actually filled the hills and the woods up by Byzantium with a bunch of slingers and archers and just poked the city down. And there was very little I could do about it in that game, and it was very annoying. So it was interesting to see a similar dynamic happen here with the boat, where I was able to put some range units on the islands around Miletos and just harass. I think it's cool that both sides have
that's one thing I was kicking myself for, that I didn't clear out the woods on the islands by Miletos, because that would have changed everything drastically.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Small island.
We were commenting on stream as well that you could have filled the woods around Byzantium and started poking it with your archers, and that would have been quite hard to deal with as well. Just any position where you occupied the forest would have been so strong, given that neither of you built basically any melee units at all.
Yeah.
I was honestly very worried about that, and pretty much the only reason why I didn't chop those woods was because I wanted you to. I was under the assumption you were thinking I had archers everywhere in the woods, so I wanted you to keep thinking that I had a bunch of archers up there in the woods.
Mind plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if you went up there with all of your unique units and just decided to harass me, I'm not sure I had a good response for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of what I wanted to do when I kind of first started getting my unique units out, and I saw you backing off. And I think for like at some moment I was like, okay, now I flickered to like equal strength, and I realized that okay, now I have like a bit of a relative power surge, and then my play would have been to go to Byzantium, but I had like 9 orders done, and like that 9 orders without any units building anything, and so I was like, I literally can't move my units up there.
It was pretty order tight for me. I actually think you got momentum on me first because you beat me well, I didn't even get serfdom in this game, but you ended up getting serfdom and whatnot. So I don't know what the total was at total.
Yeah, I mean, the serfdom helped immensely, but usually, like in most of my multiplayer games, I don't even go serfdom.
Looking at the graph, you were actually pretty even until about turn 60, and then Nestor took quite a big lead. But yeah, you were pretty even all game.
I managed to to come back there and down a bit, to build up. I sent some like today when we started. I sent some units. I realized you were like falling back a bit, and so I sent some units up to clear the other camps, and that allowed me to just get some more legitimacy right from killing units and killing barbarians.
Yeah, Sion did have a surge there. Admittedly, he did have double your orders on turn 40, but
I think he was probably building things as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Actually, yeah, I think that graph doesn't account for orders that are being used.
Because literally I was not building anything the entire first half of the game. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. My entire like build plan fell apart when I didn't get the Bosphorus. Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Well, it was a cool game. Thank you both for playing. It was entertaining. Our viewers enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and Siontific retained his reigning champion title, which, you know, I think he's undefeated so far on a community duel and will possibly remain that way at least for a little while, because it sounds like we might be transitioning to showing off some DLC next week. Is that the case, Mr. Kitten?
Yes, indeed, that's the plan. So next week and possibly for a little time afterward, I will be probably playing single player on our new DLC, showing off Wrath of God. I was going to mention the inside name we've used for it before, but our new DLC with disasters, cataclysms, and a special scenario as well as an explanation. So most likely I'll be playing Axum in base game Calamities, available to chat and everything next week. But these community duels are very interesting. I think it's very cool also to get this platform to be able to exchange you directly in voice about those games. They're also quite interesting and well received by the community. So I think we will be continuing that, maybe expanding the format or attenuate, discussing with the community in general on what format would be pleasant for everyone. And of course, we are already talking about reigning champions, maybe some form of King of the Hill, where Sion is now back-to-back winner of those duels. So we need to find someone to take his crown, or maybe we'll handicap him or just flat out cheat. I don't know in the future. But yeah, if it's pleasant for everyone, that's definitely something we want to continue moving forward.
For sure. I really enjoyed this, and I mean, I'd be happy to challenge Sion again, either in this format or another one. I'm excited to see the new DLC for sure.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't have to be this map. It doesn't even have to be a pre-made map. The settings are whatever the players agree upon. Well, so long as it somewhat fit in the format. Maybe don't pick a huge map, but that would be about it. Anyway, very cool to see, and I'm very pleased that the map is holding. I panicked a little bit with the first duel on the Londoner play, so I'm feeling a bit better now. That's very cool to see, and thank you very much for joining and sharing your thoughts as well about the game in general.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, these are a lot of fun, so I'd be happy to keep doing them in some form or another. And then I've also been thinking about, since I've done some of my own videos, and I do enjoy network duels. I think they're interesting, because I like multiplayer, but one thing I struggle with is when the games take weeks, or in the case of a free-for-all, even months to finish. That's hard for me to kind of stay focused into the game. But I'm always interested in maybe. I think if there's some people who are interested in doing some networking duels, it would be fun to observe those and then make a video where I'm not even playing and I'm just commentating and able to see a couple other people who aren't me or Fluffy or whomever play a multiplayer actions.
we might
Puts-
send Fluffy to take your throne, and then I would be commenting with someone from the community, and after that you don't have your throne anymore. You'd be welcome to commentate. Everything is on the table. That would definitely be possible. I think it's a cool format, just the opportunity to chat together as well. So
Yeah.
But I would always be. I'd be happy to play Nestor again. We've already done one duel privately, and we have another one currently in session that I have to get around to taking my turn on. And so he's a good player. He's a good opponent. I'd be happy to play Ninja again, or anybody else who wants to dip their toes into multiplayer. I don't really do a lot of it, but it is fun. It's definitely an interesting way of playing.
Yeah, definitely. We'll take the opportunity since I'll be showcasing the new DLC, so that we can have a big chat with the community and see who wants to participate, in what condition, what would work. Should we update the format, change something, so suggest something else entirely? Why not?
Listen, I
and we'll
am
see about that.
super excited for the DLC. I am thrilled that Axum is going to be in the game. I was actually going to come on to Discord earlier today and say we should cancel this session so you guys can put Axum up right now today. I'm super, super excited about that.
Don't worry, we'll show it. And it's also good that we get an extra week because, of course, leading up to the DLC, we are making many last-minute adjustments and everything. So one more week is not a drawback from a perspective, and it's also very good for the continuity of the game that you are able to complete it on the following week. So thanks, guys, for joining and participating.
Yes, thank you all for playing and watching, and indeed, as Kitten says, next week we'll be showing off Wrath of Gods and some calamities, and I'm sure we will return to the dual format at some point in the future, maybe even with calamities on. I'm sure a wildfire or two would spice up a closely fought multiplayer duel like this. Hiding
I would love to try that.
hiding your archers in the trees, and then suddenly they're all on fire. Great fun.
I'm sure if I got
Okay.
hit with a
It is something.
tsunami while I was trying to knock that Byreme out of the game, that would have been great.
Oh yes, we'll have some new spanners to show in the works.
I'm excited to figure out how it works with multiplayer. Yeah.
All right, great stuff. Well, we'll wrap
kick
up
off,
the stream for this week. But thank you for watching, everyone. And until next week, I shall sign off and say good night. See you next time.
Good night, everyone.